Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you. Happy Halloween. Lisa, good morning. You are first this morning in chat, which means you win the internet. Congratulations. You're the proud owner of everything good and bad that is on the web. Please use it responsibly. I'll be sending it out later today, so remember you just have 24 hours for it, and then you have to return it for the next winner tomorrow. Wow. Mary Kay, good morning. Good morning. Nice little sunshine emoji just as I fight with my microphone here. Nice sunshine emoji to get us going on the right foot. Lori as well. Oh, here we come. Lori, Sanita, Moses, good morning. Tony Fortune says good morning. Lisa as well. It is wonderful. Tell me what's the weather where you are. I'm not sure if you can tell, but the sunshine is streaming into my virtual courtroom here. I've actually had to block the windows a little bit because it was blinding. Minnie Pearl, good morning to you. Marguerite, hello. Christy Lockhart, great to have all of you here. It is going to be a crazy day. It's going to be a crazy day because a few things are coming up. A few big things are coming up. Specifically, we've got, later today, we've got Darrell Brooks back in court. He's convicted now, but he's going to be back in court facing the judge, the amazing Wonder Woman judge, Jennifer Darrow. And this time they're going to be talking about, I think it might be a shorter hearing. It really might, unless he pulls some antics. But they're going to be talking about how much time each side thinks they're going to need for statements, their impact statements and their victim statements. Angie, welcome. Bernard, Lori, thank you. As my granddaughter says, Halloween. Is that like a happy Halloween? It's all one word. That's really cute. Much love and respect from Texas, says Minnie Pearl. Hello, Texas. You're up a little bit early. Glad you can join us. Yeah, Darrell Brooks is going to be back in court today, probably in shackles. What do you think? I think he's going to be in shackles. But I mean, like hands and feet, not just feet. Anyway, we'll be back. We're going to find out maybe a schedule of what we can expect the rest of the week, because I think it will happen this week, of the impact statements from lawyers. Those might even happen very soon. Not sure if today, but very soon. And then we'll know just what the schedule will look like for those statements, for what the judge blanks out on our calendar for that. And then following that, we have the sentencing, where the judge finally gets to speak her mind in this case. Tony says, cloudy, light showers, 45 degrees Fahrenheit. A little on the nippy side, but, we'll take it. Is it live today, said Margaret? Yes, it is live today. Lisa says, sunny and warm here in Florida. It's always sunny and warm in Florida, right? Except for when there's a hurricane. You know what? I fixed what I had yesterday. Is that working? Can you guys see it? Yes, chat is back. Your comments are back. We can get them on screen. I was working hard over the weekend to get that working, and I'm very proud of myself, so I'll pat myself on the back there. Thank you. Yeah. Let's see. Happy Halloween, addicts. Yes. I don't know about you guys. We bought so much candy. I was doing the rough count. You know how all the bags say how many pieces there are inside? And we're like upwards of 1,300 pieces of candy. And I'm pretty sure we're going to give it all away. We better, or else you're going to have to roll me in to the studio tomorrow to do my show, because I'm going to have to eat. I'm going to have to. It's my responsibility as a parent. I'm going to have to eat all that candy so my kids don't. But yeah, hopefully we can give most of that away, so it's not something I'll carry with me for the next few months. Last poet says, he's convicted. I hope he's shackled. I think he will be. A couple of you have the same idea there. Minnie got an update from Texas as well. It's sunny and cool here in Texas. Thank you for another beautiful day. Oh, that is a blessed day. Wonderful. Sunny in Florida with chainsaws going crazy still. And man, that cleanup is going to take forever. I think actually one of the good news stories I'm going to share with you is about an organization called Crisis Cleanup and the background story of that. I got to participate a little bit in that, but that's basically when the governor gets on screen on his news conference right after the hurricane and says, if you need help on the cleanup, if you need tarps, if you need, muck out basements, if you need, all this stuff, call this number. Crisis Cleanup is that number. And they're not the organization that does the work, but they're the organization that lines up all the people who are able to help with the people who have needs. And I got to be in the middle there, working the phones for a week, a crazy week, taking amazing phone calls from people in just a devastated area. But I'm probably going to share that. They actually reached out to me the other day and said, hey, you're like in the top 10 for how many calls you took during the hurricane. We'd like to send you a t-shirt. I said, I would love to represent Crisis Cleanup. That's something I'd wear with pride. So maybe I'll get to show that off. I also have news. I took your advice and I've made some mugs for the Darrell Brooks trial. I'm going to show them later. We've got them coming right now. Hopefully they'll arrive hopefully this week, and I'll show you what they look like. But I'm super excited about them. Let's see. The chainsaws, that's going to be a constant sound, Ann. Christy Lockhart says 60 and cloudy in Fayetteville, North Carolina. You're on the other side of the state from me, but wonderful. It's not too bad here. It's about 57 where I'm at. Yep, sunny Florida. You can say, Margaret, my name is Dutch. Okay. Dutch is a language I struggle with. But Margaret it is. I'll say that. Mary Kay says, recovery addict, save the pixie sticks for me, please. I should have got pixie sticks. We got the big dum-dums that have the Tootsie Roll in the middle. We got the ones that have the bubble gum in the middle. We got all the candy bars, the Snickers, the Twix, the Reese's, oh man, so many. We've got big lollipops, small lollipops, hard, soft candy. We've got the full mix here. But let's see. Lori says, our complex is still rebuilding from the March tornado. Wow. Yeah, the rebuilding can take a long time. Okay, so what are we talking about? Oh, first of all, you're looking at my back. I'm sorry, guys. I should pay attention to what I'm showing you, which, let's do this. And you can see me. Hello, good morning. I'm here again. Troy, Alabama, super foggy. Minnie throwing in a shout out for the channel. You guys are absolutely amazing. I honestly think we have the most amazing community of true crime fans on the internet right here. Like, this is the cream of the crop. The conversation is unbelievable. Your insights are unbelievable. Your questions are amazing. It's just it's a friendly place to be, and I leave here happy. Even though sometimes we talk about some heavy stuff, and we might have to do that today because oh my goodness, there's a lot in the news coming up, and I realize it's going to be a while before these cases are at trial. But man, Lori says broad shoulders, Scott. Am I getting cut off? I need to fix it so you can see I'm waving my arms right now, but you can't tell, right? I'll fix that. I'll have to change. I'll change the studio. Maybe I'll just give you a behind the scenes video of me doing that too sometime. Last post says, you got a really cool studio, Scott. If I look at it from the right angle, it looks really cool, but you can't see the mess of cords that I have. I'll have to count them, but I think I've got like 17 different things plugged in just to power, AC power, to make this happen, and it's bizarre. I don't look forward to seeing my power bill later this month. Good morning, Chandra. Wonderful to have you. I wanted to say something. Chandra, you reminded me because you're a mod. A few of you guys got promoted to being mods without asking for it. I just sort of threw it at you. A couple of you have asked to be mods. I'm going to try to get the ones that want to be mods. But if you're a mod and don't want to be it, let me know. I can dub the regular addict instead of the bailiff. But if you've got that bailiff mindset and you want to participate in our court of public opinion that way, we'll make it happen for sure. Okay, Marguerite, Margaret. I'm going to say Margaret this time. Margaret, are you going to comment on the Brooks situation today live? I'm going to try. We want to get that video coming live. It should come in. The judge has been really good about having cameras in the courtroom there, and I don't think she's going to change her mind now, especially now that the conviction's in. So I think we'll have video for all of that. That's going to come at 1 o'clock. It's coming at 1 o'clock, 1:30. I'll check the time, but it's going to be this afternoon, so I'll be live for that for sure. Minnie says, "Good morning, mods." Abby in the UK. Good morning, Abby. Wonderful to have you guys. We've got a little bit of sports update. Panthers got beat again. Okay, won't take a side there. Let's see. Loads of attorneys commenting on DB's impossibility of an appeal. Yes, it's impossible, but it's also a guaranteed right. You have the right to an appeal, right? And that's one of the rights he hasn't lost. Obviously, he's lost the right to live as he wants to live, which is free. That's gone. He's lost his right to own a firearm. That's gone. So Second Amendment out. He's losing rights, but one of the rights he does have is the right to an appeal, and he will appeal. Everybody appeals because there's a chance, right? There's a chance they can stumble, and win the lottery type thing. There are some appeals that have been successful, so we'll talk about that. There's one wasn't going to talk about today, but the mom convicted of killing her kids won her appeal to get retried because she had inadequate defense. So we'll see. I think maybe Brooks has a case for that one as well. Chandra says, "Totally enjoy being a mod." For the record, I'll allow it. I'll allow it, Chandra. Hi, busy cleaning. Nice to take a break. Do take a break, Abby. I authorize it. Wonderful to have all you here. Okay, so let's talk about a couple things. As we're leading up to Darrell Brooks this afternoon, which is like what we want to follow because we're getting very close to the sentencing, right? These are the last few days of his jail time and before he switches to prison time. So what we have is immediately prior to the Darrell Brooks hearing, there is going to be a press conference. This press conference is announcing an update in a trial, or in a case, I should say, that has been sitting almost stagnant for 5 years. And that is the murder of Abby Williams and Libby German in Delphi, Indiana. It's been 5 years since these two girls were killed. And if you haven't seen, see, I think I've got a picture that I can show you here. Boom, here they are. Boom. These are the two girls that were killed. And the thing that's fascinating about this case, obviously, it's extremely tragic. And there's elements in this case that are very heavy and get into just a dark side of people who prey on. Yeah, it's bad. One of the girls had a video that the police believe is a video of the killer, and the video has his voice on it. And so they've been searching. It's very short. It just says "guys down the hill" is basically the only line that's on the video that they think it's very short, but they think that's him. And so there has been an arrest. Now, what the police have not said is if this individual is arrested for their murder or arrested in investigation associated with their murder, because there may have been some other crimes committed and other people involved in various aspects of this awful situation. We're going to find that out today. But yeah, that's going to be crazy. That's going to be, I believe, at 10 o'clock. We'll have to check. I'm not sure if I'm going to carry that one live, but yeah. Let's see. Last post said, I thought Judge Darrell said it would be at 8:30 or 9 this morning. I'm pretty sure it's this afternoon. We'll check to make sure. We don't want to miss it, but we're gonna talk about it anyway. Hello from Wisconsin, Joan. Welcome to have you. Mr. Happy says, I bet he's going to do so well in prison. He's going to have so many friends. Yeah, he's going to be in isolation, I think, for his own safety, at least for the foreseeable future. Abby says, I saw that. They got someone. Gosh, those police are clever. They are. And the police made comments like, they said, this may be somebody who's hiding in plain sight. And that's the case with this gentleman. His name is Richard Allen. Let me show you the picture this is him. Yep, that's his picture. They did some sleuthing to find this because the police really haven't announced very much regarding this. But hopefully more information will come out today. Okay, so we have that. We have another tough one. if you guys have seen images like this is a team of investigators pouring through a landfill, looking for the body of Quentin Simon. This is a situation in the news where the mom, Quentin's mom, is the only named suspect in this case. And the mom's behavior is a little bit bizarre. It's a little bit, it's like, something's not right there. And so we're going to be looking into that as well. The mom has been going out and partying and, just, having a good time type thing when it just, it's heartbreaking. She said some weird things. Okay, first of all, she said in an interview with the media, and she's like standing next to her mom, so the Quentin's grandma, she's saying, we just hope that he's fine and he's safe and that somebody's feeding him. And that struck a weird chord because Quentin's babysitter made allegations that he wasn't taken care of very well. They wouldn't feed him. They were always hungry. And sort of a neglect type situation is what she said. So that was weird. Then you've got the mom and the babysitter getting into a loud argument outside that the news cameras capture, where they're arguing about funeral arrangements before the police have even said that they think he might be dead. And for a mom who just thinks he got stolen or kidnapped or ran away, it seems weird for her to be planning the funeral unless she has some information. So, yeah, we've got some things there to talk about for sure. There we go. Okay, Liz Larson, the mom is a lot bizarre. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. Crazy. This is a sad case. It's very sad. Anyway, yes, Aline, I think we have that. I mean, the mom has been out partying, taking shots while the investigators are combing the landfill, and just like there's a disconnect in her behavior with how I feel a parent who is missing a child would act. But yeah, that all comes into play, and it does bring back memories of Casey Anthony and others. Okay, Mel says, I'm waiting for the news conference at 10 a.m., the Delphi case. Yes, that's going to be amazing. Okay. Franco says, I'm addicted to your lives. Franco, I'm glad you are. We're all addicts here. True crime it's amazing. It's fun to research. At the same time, it's heartbreaking. We get to see the worst of society by focusing on true crime. But at the same time, I'm going to be bringing you some of the best of society stories, where at least once a week we're going to be doing a reset day where we've talked about heavy things, we've watched some tough things, we've been through a lot during the week. We're going to reset and talk about good things people are doing, just amazing stories that sometimes don't get the press that some of these awful stories do. But yeah, thank you, Franco, for being here. When does DB show today? He shows when the judge tells him to show. Again, sorry, just getting coffee off the fire. Yeah, no problem, Mac. I believe we're at 1. I'll double check that just to make sure. Yeah, hit the like button. If you want to. If you don't like it, then hit the dislike button twice. That's my only request. Lori, yeah. You know what? The babysitter's been talking to the news a lot about this little Quinton case, and she thinks that maybe he drowned in the pool. The family had a pool in the backyard that the child loved to play in but couldn't swim, and the babysitter says she found him in the pool, or trying to get in the pool area unsupervised previously. So it may not be a murder situation as much as a neglect that allowed him to pass away, and then a cover-up to not get caught on the neglect. So that may be an aspect of it, but the cover-up does make it very, very suspicious. Abby says, the case of Summer Wells, who went missing over a year ago, is sad too. They've not found her. That is sad. Red Gorilla, hi from London, England. DB will be in jail clothes and chain from now on, right? I believe so. I don't believe they're going to give him a suit to wear other than the jumpsuit, which he already has. So that's my understanding. I'm not sure if the judge will require him to be shackled, like handcuffed. He'll definitely be shackled in place with his feet, and maybe even the electric shockers. Maybe he'll complain about. He's like, really? You're going to do this to me after all we've been through, Judge? Wink, wink. Yeah, it might be creepy that way as well. Every time Daryl complains, I think of when Lucy would cry, wah, and I Love Lucy. That's Daryl. Ellie, you're partaking in a relaxation activity. I'm not going to post it online. Some places that's legal. Okay. Liberty, Liberty says it gets 1,231 years on this Halloween day. Well, it's going to be a couple days before the actual sentencing, but it's coming quickly. It's coming quickly. Let's see. Tell me a little bit. I was going to ask you guys what you looked up over the weekend, what you saw. Tickle Pink, I think she might have watched that case in practice for her own actions. What did you see over the weekend? What is piquing your interest? Is there a case that's coming up that you want to talk about? There are a lot out there. There are a lot. We know with Sarah Boone, let me give you her little update. We'll put her picture up just for a minute. There we go. With Sarah Boone, we know that the case is delayed. We've got 3 months to wait. It's going to be the end of January 2023 before this goes to trial. And there's a possibility that she might be burning through this sixth public defender. She's already made allegations that he's not performing as he should, which she had a prior conviction for at the Florida bar for not being responsive to his clients. I don't know. She might be looking for yet a seventh public defender. I mean, how many do they have down there? They must just be burning through everything they have available. Elle says, isn't it just scheduling today? Probably. It's probably just scheduling. The judge wants to find out how long it's going to take for the comments. She had blocked out this whole month, so I don't think she has anything else this month, like later today. It's possible that she might go ahead with the two sides making their statements, or at least the prosecution make an impact statement. I'm not sure, but it might just be basically a very, very short appearance and get something on the calendar, and then we'll be back then. Let's see, I just missed one here. Lori says, I watched a video of DB from years ago in Nevada about drug addiction. Yes, he starred in that one, right? He had some inside information about how that goes. Arlene says, do you think he realizes the judge he's been abusing all along is going to make his sentencing decision? Yes, I think he does, and I think he realized that while the jury was out deliberating. And when he saw the jury was moving quite quickly through each of the charges, I think he realized that they were going to come back with guilties, and now it all depended on the judge. So that's when he turned sweet on the judge and started getting all flirty and smiley and just acting a little bit bizarre. Man, I think we'll still see that. I think that's the Darrell Brooks that'll show up today. I was just about to mention that jail clip. Which one were we talking about? I'll have to look. I don't know which one. I might have mentioned it and forgotten already. Danny Boy says, hey, so is there going to be a stream today? Yes, there will be a stream. Judge said Monday, right? She did. We're watching that. I've got to sort of do three things at once because I'm watching for a couple live feeds to become available. Specifically, we're going to look for the Delphi murder update where they've arrested, I believe his name is Richard Allen, in connection with that. Now, they have not said yet if he's been arrested for their murders or if he's been arrested for maybe anything associated with that, with the crimes that were planned. Because if you read into the case, there were other people involved. There was another gentleman who's already got a rap sheet and everything that was planning to meet up with them and pretending to be somebody who wasn't online. It's bizarre. It's really bizarre and very sad. Mr. Happy says, is that the suitcase lady? The suitcase lady is this one right here. That one. This is Sarah Boone. She's a suitcase lady. I have heard a couple different accounts of the suitcase issue. Some people were saying that the medics got him out of the suitcase. I don't believe that's the case, though. I think wherever you're getting that information, from what I've heard, she actually took George, her boyfriend, out of the suitcase and sort of stretched him out, and then supposedly did CPR on him, and all that. Anyway, Roxanne comes in with a music reference. The silicone chip inside her head gets switched to overload, and nobody's going to go outside today, right? I'm trying to remember the rest of that song. I don't remember who sings it, but I can hear it in my head, Roxanne. I can hear it. Arlene says, I think I prefer the nasty Daryl. Oh, man. I do like the antics, especially when the judge shuts him down. But the fact that he's so disrespectful, sometimes that gets frustrating. Jonathan says, "Do you know what time they're scheduled to meet for the Brooks scheduling today?" I think it's 1:00. I've got to check, but I'll verify that for sure. Red Gorilla says, "Merch idea. I'm a recovery addict." Red Gorilla, I actually made my first mug, and it's actually in reference to Daryl Brooks. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can pull it up. It's on eBay right now, but I just put it up just barely, and I don't know how to do merch. Right, I'll have to research that. So I made it through a printing company that lists through eBay, but if you look for Recovery Addict mug, you can probably find it on eBay. It's just a little mug on one side. It says "Objection overruled or grounds" on the bottom. So "Objection overruled grounds," and then on the other side, it says "True Crime" and it says "Addict" on it. So it's just a cool little mug I thought you'd like, and I might even see if I can send one to the judge. I'm not sure if she would accept it or not, but that would be funny. Yeah, Lori says, "I'm so sorry. Stretched him out. I almost peed my pants." She said that. She's like, "I tried to get him out of the suitcase and stretched him out a little because he was dead, tucked into a suitcase." Obviously, probably rigor mortis sets in, so she's trying to, try to maneuver. Ugh. We'll hear more about that in that trial, but that one's 3 months away. That trial is not going to be going anywhere until next year. So, DJ Roxanne Mauser in the house. Way to go, Sandra. I posted this and then I read it. I have to be careful not to do that because some of you guys are naughty in the chat. Let me just say, I know what you're doing and I see it. Tian Andona says, "I went to Subway this weekend and when I ate my sub, it leaked on my shirt and made me think of DB because I got a sub stain. Can I get a sub stain?" Yeah. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. There it is. Boomtown Hats, Dublin band. I don't like Mondays. That was the reference Roxanne was getting at. But this Monday is awesome. It's great to be here with you guys. Having a load of fun. We've got a lot of things to talk about and just updates. I can't wait to hear everything that's happening. I want to have all the TVs on all the channels at all the time. That's basically how I consume information, is all at once. Allison comes in with the rest of the lyrics, and "No one's going to go to school today. She's going to make them stay at home." It is "I Don't Like Mondays" by Boomtown Rats. You are correct. Let's see. I can't wait for the sentencing of Daryl Brooks. I think he's going to object every sentence or ask for the grounds or something. Stephen Lee, I'm going to watch out for your comments, particularly some of you guys try to get me to say things that aren't appropriate, and I try to catch them. But is this lawful law? It is lawful law. Lisa, let me tell you one other thing I'm doing. I love so many of your comments. You're so insightful. You've got so much knowledge about different cases that I want to give you an opportunity to share that. Now, I don't know a good way that I can do that live with everybody where you can just come on and talk. I mean, obviously I've got the technology to do that, but I'm worried about somebody coming on and just going off and saying something really highly inappropriate that I, as a content creator, I mean, I own the channel sort of thing. I'm responsible for what goes out on the air. So the best way I can think of it is I have a Google Voice number I've made just for this account, just for Recovery Addict, that I've made a hotline for, where you can call and leave a message. And if you leave a message and say what your YouTube name is and whatever your thought is, I can screen it really quickly and I can put it on there. So you can have your voice on the air. I can still check and make sure you don't accidentally or unpurposefully say something that shouldn't be on the air, and we can go that way. So if you guys want to do that, obviously don't leave anything in the message that you don't want me to play on live, because I can't do a lot of editing on that live. But oh my goodness, TW. Good morning. Took my dog for her morning, Daryl Brooks. Wow. Okay. Stephen Lee. Yes. Let me hold this thought. Stephen Lee, you sent me something over the weekend, and I thought it was absolutely great. Let's see here. It's on my phone. I'm going to send it to my laptop really quickly. But Stephen Lee is a cartoonist. He likes to do his little sketches, and he sent me a cartoon. I've never had somebody make me my own cartoon before, right? Okay, just moved it over. Options. I'll show that in Finder. I'll drag it to my view here. So he made me a little cartoon, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. right here. Okay, we'll go ahead and put that up. So, that's not it. Here we go. This one. So he made me this little cartoon that's like, dang, nothing here either. That's me out metal detecting, missing the Holy Grail, a crown, and a crashed airplane, I guess, that got buried in the soccer field as well. But that was basically the story of how I metal detect. You know, anything I do find, it's purely by accident. So Stephen Lee, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. It was very much appreciated, and I had a good laugh looking at that. Anyway, so I was talking about the messages. Does someone want to do that? If I post the number, I'm going to put it in chat here, and it's gonna go straight to voicemail, and it's got a little recording, so you know it's me. But let me make sure I type the right number so somebody doesn't get spammed with a whole bunch of calls they don't want. Okay, give me just 5 seconds to have that posted up. But then we can look at what you guys want to say, and I can put your voice on there. I can put a voice to the name, right? And if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, this would be the perfect way to tell me how to pronounce your name. So we can do that as well. Okay. Grounds is perfect for a coffee mug, says Anita. I thought so. I thought it was great. Let me know if you like it or not. Catherine, the live feed was not up yet, so while we're talking, I have to search for it just to see if it's coming up. So if I ramble just a tiny bit, it's because I'm trying desperately to see if the feed is available for all of us. And as soon as it is, we'll be taking it live. So make sure my audio is right. I took Matthew, our lawyer's, our public opinion lawyer's advice, and purchased YouTube Premium, so there's no more ads. I'm sick of the ads popping up when we're watching something live. So I fixed that, so I'm just trying to make it a little better every single time we go live, but that's where we are there. Okay, still don't see it live here. Angie says, Recovery Addict, just bought your mug, light blue, wonderful. Hope you like that color. Wonderful, it's awesome. I hope you like it. You'll probably get it sooner than I do. As soon as mine arrive, I'll show you what they look like, but I'm waiting for them to be shipped. So, Lisa says, I don't have a YouTube channel. I was making fun of Brooks. Let's see. Judge Shar is going to be going over the business today, and Daryl Brooks is going to have a long time to write a rap song about it. But okay, Robert Allen. I see what you're doing here. Okay, Richard Allen is the news arrest. Robert Allen. I thought you were going purposefully changing your name to be the name of the suspect that was arrested. The Delphi murder case has an update today that we'll be covering. I just lost my video. There we go. Okay. There we go. No ads. My ears perked up. That's the way. I can't stop YouTube from showing ads on my channel. I guess they just show ads wherever they want. But as far as me bringing in videos, live videos, I source those from channels on YouTube that whether it's a news channel in the area or whatever, and I was just frustrated with those having ads when I try to play something or stay up to date. It plays an ad, and then I'm delayed, and it's like I'm just trying to make it better. Jamie Loon's waiting for Sarah Boone. Yeah, the end of January is when we find the next one. TW says the R Brooks are done. Brooks is done. We just don't know for how long. Mrs. Rogers' neighborhood agrees. Oh yeah, I can't live without premium. I've had it for so long that I would have a fit if I saw a commercial pop up. Yeah, it's life-changing. Yeah? It's one of those things where you're like, how did I live without this? It's almost a necessity. Mayor Cacho says Brooks needs to be sentenced before the 1-year anniversary. I think he will. I think he will for sure. I don't know why. I mean, there may be some appeals processes and things that can happen. Not really appeals, but court processes that can happen between the conviction, with the jury coming back with the conviction, and the sentencing. But yeah, Robert, yeah, it's just an unfortunate name coincidence. you caught me for a second, and I just had to check it. But yeah, how or what would Chris Watts appeal? Okay, case closed. Surely, Chris Watts, is he the Ola? Is this the corn fork murder? The farmer with the corn fork? Is that who we're talking about? I've been reading so many cases over the weekend. All the names are jumbled in my head. So if I say like Casey Brooks or Sarah Brooks or anything, if I mix up the names, just correct me and know that I meant the right one. Let's see, Chris Watts is so cringe. Total monster, says Lisa. Is that the one we're talking about? And while we're on here, Valerie, I haven't seen yet. Is Valerie out there? I've got something for Valerie. If she pops up, we'll watch. She might be joining later. Okay. We're going to have just a little bit of music here because I'm going to be searching for the live stream because I don't want to miss anything for you guys. But we'll put this up just quietly in the background. I'm not spamming. The Delphi conference is at 10 a.m. on 13. So 10 a.m. on 13. So basically we're coming up. We're talking Eastern time, right? 10 a.m. Eastern? Or is that Indiana time? Because if it's Indiana time, it's going to be coming pretty close to Brooks's time. I mean, just depending on how things go. Bella says the wife was also pregnant. Yes, there was an unborn child in that situation. Okay, all right, Chris Watts, the oil drum. Yes, he is working on his appeal, right? And I believe his reasoning is he's basically found religion, that he's a changed man in prison and thus should be able to get out. The heartbreaking part on that one is the way he treated the bodies. He buried his wife in a shallow grave, stuck his daughter's bodies in two separate oil drums. They couldn't even meet together in death, type thing, and forced their bodies through a very small opening too, so small that there was hair matter and evidence on the opening where he had to force them through, and injuries on the girls' bodies as well, just from putting them in those containers. Yeah, that's a bad one. Let's see. So I don't know where he'd go with an appeal. How do you appeal saying I'm a changed man, now let me out? Does that work for anybody? Okay. Once you go premium, you can't go back. That is the truth. Okay. Let's see. Allison comes in with a question for Van. Do you see this? Are you Norwegian? That word means friend in Norwegian. It's a great name. Chris Watts murdered wife and daughters. You're right. Okay, so I'm checking here. I told you I would check during that song, and I played the whole song and didn't check. It's been like that. We'll get some suspense music, and now I'm checking. So I'm going to ignore chat just for a minute here while we do this. Okay. So Delphi's coming first. I have to be able to type here. Have you guys watched the video out of the court case, the Delphi court case? The thing that really strikes me is that I'm not seeing it live yet. I'm keeping an eye on that. The thing that strikes me is the similarities between Richard Allen and the sketch that the sketch artist drew of the person, the individual they think was responsible, even down to like the shape of the goatee and things like that. It's bizarre. Okay, I'm not sending anything up live yet, and there we go. Okay. Danielle Ford says, hello, I'm new here, loving your content so far. Danielle, welcome. I'm so glad you found us. That is wonderful. This is a great community. I think you'll find you're amongst friends. So, Lori, I think that's what Chris Watts is going with. But I don't see how that changes the fact that he did what he did. We've also got the trial of who was the shooter that the parents are on trial for not securing the gun. Is that the Crumbly parents trial? You've got that going on as well. Brings up some Second Amendment issues, brings up some gun ownership responsibilities. That'll be some very interesting stuff. And they have separate lawyers, I believe. So if you're following that, I'd love to hear your opinion. Let's see. Sarah, I don't know why. I don't know why, but they have the right to appeal, and in that appeal they can put up anything they really want. So let's see. Donna asks, is there no death penalty in North Carolina? I live here, so I should know that, but so little of what I do is impacted by whether or not I'm facing the death penalty that it's not even a concern for me. I just don't break the law. I'll have to research that. Roxanne, we're shouts out for YouTube Premium. It is wonderful. If I could give it out, I'd give it out to everybody. Now, Cakesboo, I think this is the right time for the judge to finally address it, for the record, to talk about subject matter jurisdiction. I've talked about it before, but for those that don't know, there's this constant reference to subject matter jurisdiction from Mr. Brooks was basically stemming from his belief that he's a sovereign, that he's not subject to the laws of the land. And the argument is basically him setting up ground rules for the argument in which you can't win against him, and then saying, now use my ground rules and prove me wrong. And it's a circular logic. You won't go anywhere with it because he refused to accept facts as a basis for your argument. So Amber Lucas says, hey there, just discovered your channel. Love what you do. Amber, I love what you do. I'm glad you're here. Appreciate you. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I did say I was going to share the voicemail number because I do want to get some of your comments on the air here. Just 1 second. I need to make sure it's a new number, so I need to make sure I give out the right one. Otherwise someone would be very, very upset. But let's see. I think this is it. Let me go ahead and hit send. Okay, so I'm gonna need you guys to make sure this is right. So somebody's got to volunteer to call this number and just make sure that it's my voice and you hear my message on there. Hey Shane, welcome. Obviously, I'm not going to require you from UK or Ireland or New Zealand or some of the other places we've got represented on here to call. But if somebody else will give it a quick ring and just make sure that the voice message that shows up is the Recovery Addicts Hotline, you're welcome to leave it a message if you want, and then I'll be able to go through and check those and play some of them on the air for you if they're appropriate and interesting and everything. Depends how many we get, though. LDOT says, anyone who lives in the United States must abide by our laws. Correct. Do you think, Barb Murray says, do you think the law enforcement will try to get the family to flip on the Delphi suspect? Many people think they knew or suspected. All I know is that one of their other suspects might be cooperating, but the one they just arrested is not. Is not cooperating, so we'll see. Lori says, I couldn't understand how he would not consent to being called DB when he said it when arrested. Lori, that's fascinating. That's a great question, and it's very observant of you. The reason he wouldn't consent to being called DB is because when he was given the charging documents, his name was spelled out all in capital letters, which he believes means that it's the name of an entity, not like Wisconsin spelled it all in capital letters on the charging documents. So because it's an entity, it's not him. Thus, he doesn't know who that is, and it's a little bizarre. And I mean, the judge clearly explained it, and there was no question in my mind that we were wanting to know what his name was when she said, "Can I have the appearances?" But it was just one more of his stalling tactics. Battletoad, what's up with Sarah Boone? Sarah Boone is getting 3 months of R&R in the local county jail because her lawyer has filed a motion of continuance, which means he's asking for he's asking for extension to look into more evidence, to do something. And the judge granted it, which means that we've got 3 months before it goes to trial. It's going to be like January 30th of 2023 before it goes to trial. Bobby Bat said, yes, there we go. Yes, that's the correct number. Shane, that number I just posted is for a Google Voice. It's for my burner phone. And if anyone who wants to leave a message then we can play on the air. If they have a question, if they have a comment about a trial, just want to share a little bit. Obviously, the message will tell you that, shorter messages work better. If you've got like a 5-minute message, I probably won't be able to play it just because it's hard to screen those prior to putting them up. TW, Paul Pelosi hammer trial. Sounds intriguing. I have not followed it. Give me the lowdown on that one. Tell me why that would be a good one. Susan, yes, we're trying to do that. I'm watching the live feeds now to see when things come up. We're supposed to be having a press conference about the Delphi trial, a new arrest in the Delphi case. And this is a case of 2 young girls who were murdered 5 years ago. One of them even captured a video of what the police believe is the murder suspect, and even captured his voice on her cell phone. But we don't know a lot about that. Okay, so Mr. Upper Torso, correct. Their lawyer filed a motion of continuance, so he has more time to withdraw before trial. Might be too tight if it started 2 weeks. Yeah, he's number 6. Her lawyer's number 6 for Sarah Boone, and she's started to get a little weird with him. I mean, first of all, in the letter she wrote to her lawyer and carbon copied the judge. Roxanne says wrong number, wasn't you. Other people say it's the right number. It might be a dialing error, Roxanne. Check it again. But Sarah Boone wrote a letter to her lawyer, Mr. Bankowitz, and said basically, hey, it's me, your client. I'm here in jail wondering what's going on. I've been calling you every day and you haven't answered my collect calls, which you should be because the judge will pay you back for all the costs if you answer my collect calls. But I've called you every single day. We've only talked 3 times, and these are the dates and exactly how long each time we talked and what it was about. And, I really need to know what's coming up next. So call me, type thing. And then at the end, she's like, oh, and by the way, I don't think it's a coincidence that we're together. God has a bigger plan in this. I can't wait to see where it goes type thing. Almost like a, hey, I'm available type line at the end. It's like, yeah, you're available because you killed your boyfriend. And I don't think this lawyer, Bankowitz, wants anything to do with it, but he's assigned. He doesn't get to choose. Public defenders don't get to sort through the list of cases that are coming up. He's like, hey, judge, that one looks fun. I mean, I really would like to do that one. No, it's just like, hey, email, guess what? You're up. You drew the short straw. Here's Crazy Lady. Go see her. But so six public defenders for Sarah Boone for various reasons. A lot of them have to do with the fact that, either they faced her in court representing George in a previous domestic issue, or they were the lawyer for someone who's named as a witness in this trial, or things like that. She's been in the system several times as both a victim and as a defendant, and so there's she's running into roadblocks that way. Okay, so man, your chat is going super fast. Oh, okay. Susan Bauer. Oops. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong one. Delilah, we'll go with you first. Is Sarah Boone the lady that put the boyfriend in luggage? Yes, she is a suitcase killer is what she's been dubbed. But, of course, we don't know if she's guilty until she's convicted by a jury. But here we go. So Susan Bauer says, I'm in North Carolina. Good morning. It is a great morning in North Carolina. It's going to be beautiful for trick-or-treaters. Maybe a little bit of rain, but, most costumes are waterproof. Let's see. Wrestling says, I'm at work. I'm going to take a nap. I'll be back in an hour. I want your job. If you can take a nap at work, that sounds beautiful. Let me know if they're hiring. Let's see. Robert Allen says, I've gone back to rewatch the trial on YouTube. I get pure entertainment from Brooks' trial. My blood pressure goes up. It does. I get so frustrated, and I want the judge to reach over the desk and just wrap him with the gavel on the head and say, wake up, man. But Yes, you're right, Susan. Thanks for answering the questions there. Let's see. Roxanne got the number wrong. It's all right. It's all right. We'll give you another chance. So glad you got in there again. Gray, objection grounds. Gray, I've got the coffee mug available now. I think if you search on eBay for recovery addict mug, I think it should come up. It's a cool looking mug, but I took your advice and made that here. Okay, this is the weird one. This is straight from the headlines. The whole attack on Nancy Pelosi's husband. Wow, that's bizarre. It really is bizarre. And everything that's going on on social media back and forth about other information I'm not sure if it's accurate or not. It's still early. Robert Allen says, I know I will start yelling at my TV when I'm streaming it. Yeah, we do. A couple of you have confessed that you yell at the TV. Because it helps, right? It helps. It changes. If you're watching football, you yell you cheer when your team scores, even though they can't hear you. It's just something you do. And so when it's frustrating, you yell at the TV. Let's see. When is Sarah Boone trial? Kathy, great question. That is going to be January 30th. We thought it was going to be on the 7th. That was November 7th was the date, but her lawyer put in a motion of continuance, meaning, Judge, I need more time. And the judge granted it until January 30th, so after the new year. Jay Hughes, 2-minute warning on press conference. I've got to get to work. We're talking about Delphi. Okay. Oops. Let me pull it up here because I'm not seeing it yet. And I want to, let's see. Okay, we have a feed from another channel. I'm trying to find a better one. I can see the police are not up to the podium yet. I'm going to see if I can find a better feed than that one. But we might have to take that one if we need to. Let's see. Bruce, what else am I not remembering? Great question. That's a Darrell Brooks reference, if I've ever seen one. He actually asked that to a witness on the stand. As if they could answer the question and give him a list of things they don't remember. Okay. What's the channel that's on? That's on 59, right? Okay. Just trying to see news live. I think 59 should be Fox 59 is the Indianapolis station that should be covering this, and I'm not seeing it yet. Can we please have this music for jury watch, says Chandra. It's short, but we might use it occasionally. Let's see. Matthew Harris Law, welcome. The Sarah Boone interrogation, she definitely gave me Chris Watts vibes. Have you seen the Netflix special on the Watts murders? I don't think I breathed during the last 30 minutes. There is so much information in that. Wow. Yeah, it's a hard one to watch too, but yeah, he's a creep. He's a creep. What channel, did somebody find a live feed? Did I see that for the Delphi murder update? Just trying to see if we can bring you a live feed. Have to type a million different things. I've got like 6 keyboards over here. Okay. Let's try this one here. Okay. Audio on input 2 is on.
Give me just a second here.
So this is live.
Seldom do I have prepared remarks, but today is different because I do not want there to be any confusion or ambiguity with what I will say. Today is not a day to celebrate, but the arrest of Richard M. Allen of Delphi on 2 counts of murder is sure a major step in leading to the conclusion of this long-term and complex investigation.
So they're charging him with murder. They believe he killed him.
First, I'd like to speak directly to Anna, Mike, Becky, Kelsey, your extended families, along with the entire Delphi community that certainly has grown and now includes our nation and even many countries around the world. I am proud to report to you that today, actually last Friday, was the day. And an arrest has been made. Thanks to literally hundreds of media outlets that have been steadfast in reporting and keeping the memories of Abby and Libby front and center. Many of you in the room have developed relationships with me personally, and I always have a personal perspective, and today's no different. But from a very personal perspective, you all have provided inspiration and support, even while oftentimes frustrated with us and me. You continue to encourage the efforts, and you too believe that one day we would all be here participating and sharing this news.
We're still waiting for some information. I'm not sure if they'll reveal how they found
the
it.
entire law enforcement community, which includes all local, state, and federal agencies, which are far too many to specifically mention today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We are going to continue a very methodical and committed approach to ensure that if any other person had any involvement in these murders in any way, that person or persons will be held accountable. Since the murders of Abby and Libby 2,086 days ago, the daily investigative team has worked tirelessly and is certainly worthy of mention today. Specifically, Sheriff Linsonby, the Sheriff of Carroll County, Detectives Tony Liggett, Detective retired Kevin Hammond, former Delphi chief and now the prosecutor's investigator Steve Mullins, State Police First Sergeant Jerry Holman, Detectives Jay Harper, Dave Vito, and Brian Harshman, along with members of the United States Marshal Service, specifically Agent Jeremy Quinton and Agent Bill Culfers. With them today is Dan McClain, U.S. Marshal, appointed U.S. Marshal. Our state police analysts, our scientists from many different disciplines within our laboratory division, Mrs. Kathy Shank, for your incredible dedication to detail, and to so many others that I know I've missed. I really believe that Abby and Libby would be proud of you for standing strong, even in the face of immense pressure and perpetual criticism. Some of these individuals have postponed retirement, passed on promotional opportunity, have dedicated personal time away from their families, given up nights, weekends, and holidays, all while in the pursuit of accountability.
Lisa, they haven't said yet.
For Abby and Libby. I know that today's announcement will not diminish your resolve, and I hope you have found just a bit of peace in this most complicated world. This is really important. While I know you are all expecting final details today, Concerning this arrest, today is not that day. Today's not that day. This investigation is far from complete, and we will not jeopardize its integrity by releasing or discussing documents or information before the appropriate time. Prosecutor Nick McClellan, of course, will share additional information about what we can and cannot say, and also explain to you why the probable cause affidavit is temporarily sealed by the court and not available. And by the way, he has been a tremendous, tremendous asset to this team. I'm yet again asking you for your patience and please your understanding while our system of due process works. Also remember that all persons arrested are presumed innocent. All persons arrested are presumed innocent. You all will have an innate desire to subjectively interpret and then report what you think. We in the law enforcement realm cannot, and you should never allow us to.
Okay, so our feed's dropping out just a little bit there. We're probably not going to get details, not the details we're seeking. What we do know, though, is that
ladies and gentlemen, just letting you know, this is a video feed that is being provided by the Indiana State Police.
Okay, so the feed basically dropped out. It's provided for by the police, and it's a bad feed. There's not going to be a lot of information. Basically, you're going to have another officer stand up and basically try to answer questions, and basically say all we can say is we have evidence that led to this, and that the search warrant's been done. There's chilling details that are involved in this, specifically the fact that that they believe that the killer or someone involved with the killing may have taken a memento from them, and so when you start looking at the searches they performed, you can start piecing together things and maybe find it's sometimes 1 + 1 = 2, and you can put those things together. Obviously, we're waiting for the details for that. Okay, so yes, they did find the bodies. But TW is saying Daryl Brooks was never innocent. Right, TW. The phrase is presumed innocent, and that's just from a legal standpoint. We know he was never innocent, although he's made his peace with God apparently. So, okay, I do have we did got one message here I wanted to play. Just was going to screen that here. We've got let's see. It looks like last poet called in. So let's see if this works here. Let me give it a try. Well, that was not how I wanted it to go, but let's try it one more time here. Well, it worked better in my head. Let's see here. Speaker. I think my plug's not working. Okay, we want to play everyone's comments. We'll get it figured out here. Headphones. There we go. Okay.
Last poet calling, and very glad that you've set up your channel and that you're doing what you're doing. You are a great source of information and inspiration for the greater realm of the public, and I hope you have a beautiful day there in North Carolina. I'm in Arkansas, and I'm having hot coffee on the veranda. Take care, and God bless.
Awesome, Last Poet. Thank you for calling in, testing out the system. Glad to know it works. Obviously, if there's something you guys want to share, if you have a comment or a request or a tip or a question that you'd like to share, that phone number will work, and mods, you're welcome to post that whenever you want. It will go straight to voicemail, so I'll be screening them and then share them as I can. Okay, I'm just going to cut in just a little bit more in here if we can hear any more details from this feed.
Go and death have had a profound effect on so many of us.
Okay, so they're still talking about the impact. they call it a presser, right? A press conference. In the news media, it's called a presser. They're announcing the arrest of this gentleman who they're charging with murder. They've got another officer coming up. This one might give us some more information. I'm going to take this one with you.
I believe in a God of justice and righteousness. Today, I believe that same God has provided us with justice for Abby and Libby. As Sheriff of Carroll County, Indiana, I want to publicly and sincerely thank each individual who played a role in helping us during this 5.5-year investigation. Whether it was in an investigative capacity, providing tips, cards or letters of suggestions or encouragement, phone calls, and thousands of other countless ways of communicating. I earnestly thank those who prayed for this moment in time. We now move forward through the Indiana criminal justice system, allowing the system to provide its due diligence and process in providing that justice which is owed Abby and Libby, their families, in this community.
Okay, so
Thank you.
I don't think we're getting any details from them, specific details. They've kept it sealed. I mean, it's all sealed.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Nicholas McClellan. I'm the Carroll County prosecutor. And before we get started, I want to reiterate some of the things that Sheriff Lesenby and Superintendent Carter stated. I first want to thank both of them. They've been a great support to my office throughout this investigation.
Okay,
They've always been there for a phone call and always been willing to help a hand or a line of assistance to me and my office during.
Okay, we're going to cut away from that. Basically what you saw when you were watching the Darrell Brooks trial, when the DA came out and spoke to the press after the conviction, that's their moment. That's their moment to brag, to say, we did it. With law enforcement, it's different. They do that at the beginning, and so that's what you're seeing. They're saying, hey, we caught him. Now we turn him over to the courts. So now they're going through, and everyone who's involved in the case is getting thanked for their work, for all their hard efforts, all the public, for all the tips, and for all the, just keeping it on the forefront of the news media, and just keeping people thinking about it, so that it might trigger something for someone. But yeah, whoops, I apologize for that. TW, I've got to keep it clean. Can't post that up there. They won't have many details here. They'll come out of that will come out in trial. Yes, it's to ease the community as best they can right now, right? But I also think in this particular case, there's a high likelihood that other individuals were involved or knew about what was going on, especially, if you dig into this case and see what other people who were associated with the girls are being charged with, that's what I'm going to say there. So it's possible that end of the investigation is still ongoing and that there are more people who will be caught. But yeah, Sunita, this is not a day for celebration. Also, I'd like to congratulate. Yeah, it's a little bit of celebration. Claire Chen says, I just found the channel and I love it. Claire, I love that you found us. This is a good group. I think you'll find the community here in chat is amazing. This is really the cream of the crop when it comes to true crime fans. And it's a respectful place. We get to have a little bit of fun and talk about the things we all like talking about. So welcome. I'm so glad you found us here. Feel free to drop a line, a comment, or whatever. Let's see. All right. Great. Mr. Upper Torso. Trophy taking is a very serial behavior. I'm worried this isn't the suspect's first crime. Yeah, we've seen plenty of serial murder cases where the murderer kept and cataloged and just stored mementos from each killing. So if that's what happens, there's a possibility that other people will be involved. Matthew Harris says, though, you're exactly right. It will be a couple years before we see a trial on this, right? And it'll be quiet for a while. Unless there are more arrests that are made, it's sort of going to fall off the news media cycle, basically until we get close to trial, which, can be a couple of years, depending on what filings are made. He might plead guilty. I doubt it, because he's not cooperating now, but... Did Darrell Brooks have another court date today? Yes, Canadian Beef, he did. That's what we're going to take next. I'm actually going to start looking for some feeds for that. Darrell Brooks is going to be back in court facing Judge Darrow, and she's going to be asking him how long it takes for all the people who want to come and speak in his behalf to talk. And if this goes into double digits as far as minutes go, I'll be surprised. I don't think he's going to have a lot of people there. I really don't. The people who are closest to him and do still, I wouldn't say support him, although he does have some crazy people out there that do support him, even knowing he's convicted. Those people probably aren't going to speak on his behalf, like his mom. His mom doesn't want anything to do with the trial. She doesn't want to be there. She's heartbroken over the whole situation. Leon King is reporting back that Pine Knoll Shores is, in fact, awesome. Don't tell anyone, Leon. Outer Banks are incredible. Pine Knoll Shores, just south of the Outer Banks, absolutely wonderful as well. It's our little best-kept secret that North Carolina has the best beaches in the world. Deborah Strong says, just found it also on my TV, typed in on my phone, recovery addict, had to go. Yep. Let's see, wonderful. Okay, Max says, waste of time, no information, just for show. It is. We sort of knew that's what it would be. A lot of times these press conferences, because it's early in the investigation, because there's still so many factors that are still going on, they want to win. I mean, it's been 5 years. 5 years they've been looking for the murder of these two girls in the community. Obviously, the community at times has been frustrated with the police, with a lack of progress. They want to be able to come out and say, hey, we did something, and it was good. We're moving forward. We think we've got the guy. But they really, just to protect the integrity of the case and the ongoing investigation, they can't really tell us all the details we want to know right now. Lisa says, it makes me angry that these murderers live off taxpayers. Lisa, it's the system we have. And I have to say, although I'm frustrated with it, our system is sort of designed around that principle that we have rights and we are protected, the innocent until proven guilty thing. And the system is designed, I think in my head, I like to think that it's better that a guilty man go free than an innocent person go to jail. And sometimes we see guilty men in our mind. We think that guilty man went free because of this. He played the system a certain way. But it does benefit the person who is defending themselves. Let's see. Right, the sentencing schedule is today, but in a number of hours. Mr. Albertoso, I think we might hear about the sentencing schedule for Darrell Brooks today, but I think more likely we'll hear about the schedule just for the victim statements and the impact statements from both sides. So both sides, the defense, the convict, and the prosecution are going through trying to catalog all the people who want to talk for him. Speak to them and try to sway the judge one way or another, or just influence her opinion. She has some latitude in some cases as to how much of that maximum sentence she wants to apply to him. Leon King says Ethan Crumley pled guilty. Okay, so Leon, is that? I was following that just a little bit. These are the parents of the school shooter, right? And they were the ones who were charged with, I think, 4 counts because they had the gun available to him. So if he pled guilty, I know they split their defense. Basically, they each had their own lawyer so that they could act independently. Is that so that the mom would not be charged, or I don't know? Tell me how that works. If anyone has any information on that. Abby, giving a shout out to Matthew Harris. Of course, he is absolutely amazing. You'll see him on here in chat. He'll be on here occasionally on the phone. We'll talk and bring him in that way, and maybe even via video too, as his busy lawyer schedule allows. But we'd like to have some legal analysis and reaction as well, and so please support him over there as well. Amazing gentleman. Love to have him part of the community. Let's see. Where are we at? We've got a couple. Here we go. Abby, thank you. I will say, Abby, I will play them if they're good. I know sometimes the audio might be bad, and it might not be something you said wrong or something. It might just be that it didn't record well. So I can't say I'll play everything, but I do want to let you add to this this community and this discussion in your voice, your actual voice, and tell people what you think and ask a question or give a comment or kudos or whatever, a shout out to someone. We'll try to play what we can that way. So we've got a little bit. Let's recap where we're at. We've got Darrell Brooks this afternoon is going to face off with the judge. I like to think that because I hope the judge is a little more direct with him than she has been in the past. Sunita, yeah, you've got. We're talking about the Crumbly parents, where their liability with the school shooter issue. Yeah, mom's being charged to a lesser degree. That's where it's at. Okay, so we've got Darrell Brooks facing off with the judge. Actually, she's just going to ask how long his people want to talk and how long the prosecution and their people want to talk. We might have some opening statements. I don't think so. It might probably be tomorrow or the next day. The court, the people who want to talk are pretty local, so it's not like they have to fly people in from all over the U.S. and arrange flights and things. This is the local community. There are people who live in that community who are impacted and are going to be speaking. So I don't think they need a whole ton of time to allow them to get there and arrange for it. These people will make time to speak, but. What time will DB be on? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's 1 o'clock, right? It's 1 o'clock today, Eastern time. We have some time. We'll probably have a break between now and then. Let's see. Hey, we've got a couple of messages coming in. I'm going to screen a couple of them as we're looking at this. So, okay, I think I can play this one. We'll give it a shot. This is from Shane in Ireland. I'm expecting to get a really cool accent out of this one, Shane. Let's see if we can hear it here.
Hello, Scott. This is Shane here from Ireland. Just wanted to ring and say hello and say a great channel. Glad you found it. Glad you set it up. Hello to everybody out there who I've been talking with, and just a quick hello, and I'll keep talking on the chat. So I just want to say hello to everyone and to you, and well done to you. And I'm going to go back to the chat now. Okay, talk soon. Bye.
Hey, Shane, thank you for dropping in. I appreciate your emails as well. Shane's been sending me some information offline as well. Had a little discussion via email, so I appreciate him. He's been here pretty much from the get-go. Let's see, 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, says JPass. 2 p.m. Eastern, says Paul. A lot of you. Abby, yes, it said 1 p.m. was right, but I think that's local time. So they're in a 1 hour difference from us, is my understanding. TW says, hello, Shane. Wonderful, Ashley. Everyone, Shane is awesome. It's good to have him here. And we even got some Luck of the Irish emojis on there from Ola for you. Ola, your picture almost looks like Judge Darrow. You know that? It's almost her. I think that's her Halloween costume. Okay, so we talked about Darrell Brooks. We've covered Sarah Boone a little bit. We thought her trial was going to start here in a week, but it got a motion of continuance was approved by the judge or granted by the judge, and so now it's off till January 30th. We've got like a 3-month wait on that one, and you never know. That one is so bizarre. We might even have a replacement of public defender again if he still is not responsive. So. Shane, I did play your message. I'm sorry if you missed it. We were saying hi to you, but thank you for leaving that. Anyway, so Sarah Boone is waiting. She's on ice here at the jail for 3 months. We've got baby Quinton. Let's put up a picture here. We showed a little bit earlier. Baby Quinton is the issue the case where here he is. That's him right there. Okay, this is the baby that the mom is just acting really weird. That like really strange. Like he goes missing, and the police haven't even said that they think he might be dead, and she's filmed in a fight with the babysitter about the funeral for him, like how it should go, like planning the funeral. And the cops are like, who said anything about funeral? We're looking for a kid who's wandering around right now. Then she's out on the town taking shots. Well, the investigators are doing this in the landfill, looking for his body, just raking through garbage. Now, they've said in this case that they have information that pointed them to a specific trash receptacle, and the way that works is basically they know. If they know what their receptacle was, they know which truck picked it up. And if they know which truck picked it up, they know the schedule of where it would have been dumping and being filled in the landfill. So there's an area in the landfill that they have just isolated, and they're going through piece by piece. What you see there, they actually haul in a small amount, like those 20 people or so can sort through, and they meticulously rake through that for any sign of baby Quinton. And then once they've cleared that, they'll bring in there's another strip they bring in, and they're just spreading out one after another. It's not a fun job at all, but yeah. So that's going on with baby Quinton. We also have more. That's not it, right? Delphi murder case updates. We just heard from the press conference from Indiana, where they announced that they've got the guy, and they announced the only part I wasn't sure was if they were going to charge him with murder, and they did. So they believe he is responsible for the murder of these two girls. So yeah, that's all today, and we're getting set for Darrell Brooks to face the judge yet again. It's going to be a fun day. It's going to be a crazy day. Is there anything else you guys want me to cover before we take a break? I realize that I'm trying to keep it under 2 hours. I know you guys have things to do during the day. I will be back on when the judge goes live. We're going to follow that live together today. I will be on pretty much every morning about the same time, about 9 a.m. my time. That's my plan anyway. I was looking on YouTube and noticed that most of you guys are on in the evening and not the morning. So maybe I need to switch. Maybe I need to do an evening show. But I really like doing the live, the analysis as it happens, and discussion with you guys, because you guys have such great insights, and I love to share them. Stephen Lee, I understand, completely understand. Definitely tune in on the weekend on Saturday. I'll do an uplifting story for you. It's sort of like restore our faith in humanity as we've viewed so many of these people that are just the muck of the earth. But let's see. Paul has a suggestion here. He says, missing Iowa cousins, surveillance video of Elizabeth Collins and Lyric Cook. This case today mirrors the murder in 2012. I'll have to look into that. I'm not familiar with that. Carolyn says, I'm back. I was watching the videos on YouTube channel you recommended. Wonderful. If there's anything that stuck out to you, Carolyn, please let me know. Debbie says, I'm dropping in for a while until my company gets here. Hello, everyone. Well, Debbie, invite your company. We're all friends here. They're welcome at any time. So we do have, I'm getting a bunch of messages, so I'm going to have to screen through some of those. But if you would like to leave me a message that you want to have played, whether it's a question or a suggestion or a comment or a shout out, if it's appropriate for the channel, I will try to play it. My number, I'll post it here in chat one more time. This is my burner phone. Oh, I posted it on the wrong keyboard, which means nothing happened. Okay, there we go. That will go straight to voicemail. You'll hear a message from me giving you just a few instructions of how it goes. Huggy? Yeah, LawTube is a thing, right? Here's Huggy. Here's where I am. I love the law. I love reading about it. I love studying it. I love all aspects of this. I've done this since I was a kid, and I've shared some of those stories on some of my previous live streams. I am not a lawyer. I don't pretend to be one. I just love learning about it and discussing it with people. We do have some lawyers that are participating in chat. One specifically is Matthew Harris, who's an amazing guy. We have him on here for reaction and commentary and clarification, really, because his understanding is just incredible. So yeah, I guess in that way I'm part of LawTube, but not with a big L, a little L, right? I don't have any letters by my name. Let's put it that way. Let's see. Donna admits to a little bit of an anger issue. Almost broke my desk watching the DB trial. Clown killer. Oh, there's another one that's absolutely crazy. A lot in the news, and the downside about the ones in the news is we hear about them now, and then by the time they go to trial and we really get the information, it's going to be years. It's going to be a long time. But there's a lot that was in the news a couple of years ago that are coming up, and that's what we want to look at and really focus on, just because I like the courtroom setting. That's why you see me here in the courtroom on my little backdrop. But yeah, that's good. See, Bella says, have a good morning. Off to PT with Will Tunin for Darrell Brooks at 1 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, we'll be on a little early for that. And we've got a little bit of time, a couple hours. Make yourself a sandwich, right? And get yourself a drink, and we'll settle in for that one for sure. LawTube is a lovely category. It's wonderful. I will say, for those of you that were asking, I did make a merchandise item, my first one. And it's a mug, and it references the DB trial. It says, objection, overruled, grounds on the bottom, and on one side. And the other side, it says, true crime addict. I think it looks good. I know a couple of you have picked one up. Mine is still shipping to me. Once it gets here, I'll show you. But I bought a couple, and I'd love to ship one to the judge. I think she would probably find that funny. So if I can find a way to do that, I think I will. Debbie says, what state are they looking for the little boy in? I believe this is in Savannah, Georgia. Let me check my notes here. The little boy is baby Quinton, right? I believe that's Savannah, Georgia. And let's see if I've got some. I had some images of the home and the area and the pool and things like that, but I haven't got them ready to share just right yet. So we'll do that as that plays out. Excuse me. TW says, we need to have really speedy trials. Should not take years. You know, in the perfect world, I think you're right. The problem is there's just such a backlog of criminal cases that, you know, we'd need to like multiply the number of judges and courtrooms by 10 to have them go fast. And a lot of the issue is the investigation takes time. It takes time to gather evidence and talk to people. And it's like building a puzzle, right? You want to be able to just dump it out and have it done in a few minutes. But a lot of things you're hunting for pieces. You're trying lots of things different ways to try to see if it will give you a hint about how they'll snap together. And honestly, in most trials, you're missing puzzle pieces. There are some things you'll never know. And those gaps can be really big. Eric Banter says, good morning, recovery addict. Catching you from break on work. Eric, I'm glad you couldn't get a break. Tell your boss that you deserve a double break because you're watching with some fellow addicts and you need some R&R time. Huggy says, recovery addict, all good. You got my sup and my thumbs up. Well, sup to you as well. I appreciate your support. Wonderful. DB Hearing says, Shane is live in 3 hours Ireland time. Okay, DB. Or Shane, yes, please be back for that. We'll be here and talk about it. Matthew Harris says, hey, I want my LawTube invitation. Matthew, you're actually part of it. You just have to start using the hashtag. I think you're an honorary member. Let It Be Summer shouts out, this is what makes this so amazing for me. Everyone in this chat is so civil and mature. Thank you. Thank everybody. You guys make this chat what it is. You guys make this community what it is and a fun place to talk. Churchy says, did you see the lady from Waukesha dress up like Judge Darrow for Halloween? So cool. That is an amazing costume. That's cool. I like that. Thank you, Shane. I was trying to work out what time it was for UK time. Maybe I need to get like one of those like world clocks where I can say, okay, we're going to be on for this trial, and I can show you everybody's time, what it would be for your area. I'll look into that. That might take a little bit of work, but I think it can be done. Ola says, yes, this is the nicest place on the internet. It is. You guys are amazing. And Let It Be Summer agrees. Let's see. Hi, I'm new here on the channel. New here, love the channel. Laura, welcome. This is a friendly place to be. Please subscribe, make yourself at home. It's wonderful to have you guys here. Stephen Lee, stop the room, thumbs up. Yep, it's great. Okay, yes, the Cakesboro, we are non-toxic. That's what I want it to be. I want it to stay like that. And we've got, I started off talking about this a little bit, but I threw a couple people in as mods that I really didn't give them any warning or even ask their permission. And they were amazing, absolutely incredible. If any of you are tired of being a mod, just drop me a little line. I'll drop you off. If there's somebody who, you know, has been here for a little bit and participated and sort of gets the vibe of what we're trying to have here and would like to be a mod, you're basically the bailiff in our court of public opinion. So I'd love to have some volunteers. Sometimes it does get crazy in here, especially when we've got a live trial thing update. Probably this afternoon with DB, we'll have a lot of people in here, and a lot of people that aren't familiar with sort of how we do things. So we might need a few more mods. Enter Storm says, what is a mod? A mod is a moderator in chat. They basically have superpowers as far as just making sure that everyone's in line. I don't like using like ban hammers and kicking people out. I like that, but just sort of steering things, and occasionally you get a spam bot that wants to post all sorts of inappropriate links or names in there. We just want to keep that out. Just trying to keep the vibe in here the way we enjoy it, what we came for, right? We don't want it to be lost in the muck. Lisa says, this is my first time watching your channel. I love it, and now I'm a subscriber. I wish I could have known about you earlier, but I'm glad I found you now. Good guy, great show. Lisa, you couldn't have known about me much earlier because I'm pretty new. You only missed about a week or so. I've told the story before, but I'm between jobs. I finished a contract back in April, and I've just been trying to decide what to do with my life between now and then. Job hunting is incredibly depressing sometimes. And I just thought, you know, I like doing this. I'm just going to go live and talk about something to relax and have fun. And that first day, I think we had 12 people on, and it was one of the best days I'd had in weeks. It was just so much fun to talk with people who were respectful and curious about the same things I was doing, and just, you know, had some fun, had some laughs, had some tears. It was amazing that way. And the next day we had like 35. The next day was 85. The next day was 500. And by Saturday we had 13,000 people that had popped in to say hi. And so many of them had decided that this is somewhere they wanted to come back to. And it was just very rewarding for me. And Matthew pointing out that sometimes our mods make mistakes. Anyway, so I'm glad you found us, but just know that you didn't miss much, and everything we have done is still available online if you want to back up. And Morbius, what's that reference, Leon? I should know it, but it's not clicking. My brain's not clicking this morning. Yep. Shane says, won't be here later, have to work. I understand, Shane. Hopefully you can catch up on the replay. Yep. Let's see. A lot of chats have Lisa's. Lisa's a good name. We're glad to have you. Yep. Let's see. Donna Harris says, the thing I like about this channel is we get our questions answered. Pretty cool. You guys are amazing, actually. Almost every question that's in here, you're going to find that people are reading the questions and responding. And sometimes it gets so crazy I have to turn the slow mode on. It's not because I'm trying to, like it's on right now because I left it on, but it's not that I'm trying to slow down what you're doing and not let you talk. But so many people want to ask a question and answer. Sometimes we need to just break it up a little that way. But there are so many smart people, so many people who have studied these cases and have great insights. I've got emails and text messages and comments on videos with so much insight that I've reached out to some of you saying, please, I need to hear this in chat. There's some people who would really appreciate the insights and the things you've put together and that you've gathered through your analysis. It's incredible. You guys are amazing. I love that you're here. Ashley says, you're natural at this. You bring a very calming effect while keeping everything interesting. Well, thank you, Ashley. I'm trying here. I do love it. But it wasn't me. It was what made it amazing is that you guys are here and what you bring to the channel. And I'm forever grateful for that. Anthony says, are you thinking about doing a full-on true crime podcast? I've got all the equipment, but I've never really done a podcast before. I'm sort of a video guy. You know, I've got you know, this is my setup. This is actually this device you can see right here Anthony, is a podcast device. It's designed to make podcasts. I hit the little button here and it starts recording the podcast. I can just, when I'm done, I can upload it to any podcast material. It's perfect for that. But the problem is so much of what I do is video based, is me on the screen, is me showing something, as we're reacting to a live stream of court case. We want to see that. I don't know how that would translate to a podcast. If I could figure that out, and if that was something that people would be interested in, I don't think it would be hard to make the audio from this into a podcast. But I just don't want people to be listening to podcasts where I say, now see here, and things like that, and they don't see because I'm not able to show them the video. Does that answer your question? Matthew Harris says, can you test something today? When you set up your afternoon stream, can you please schedule to start a specific time? I want to see if that'll finally send a notification. Matthew Harris, yes, I tried to do a community post today. I was able to post a picture. I was able to make a comment. And every time I click post, it just grays out and won't send. But I do want to improve the process of you guys being notified when a live stream is happening. So I will try that and see if I can make that happen. Anthony, tell me about David DePape. Who is David DePape? What's that case, Anthony? I might have read about it, but the name is not clicking in my head right now. AB says, I thought they were supposed to do scheduling today, but I don't see a live or upcoming DB case. It will be today. It may not be everything we want it to be today. Basically, the judge has asked both parties to be in her courtroom at 1 p.m. to discuss how much time it's going to take for their two sides to make their statements, impact and victim statements. Initially, from her initial schedule, it seemed like she was going to move right into them. It was like, conviction's done, okay, tomorrow we do the statements. But then DB asked her to basically delay and say, hey, it's going to take some time to gather all the people, or, in his case, to find someone that wants to talk for him on his behalf. So the judge granted that on his request. The state was okay with that. I know they have a lot of people who probably want to talk as well, who are impacted, victims, family members. And so it just gives them time to add that up, and then they'll tell that to the judge. The judge will look at her calendar and say, okay, here's the slot of time we're going to allow, whether it's 1 day or 2 days or more, depending on how many people. I'm sure she's probably going to cut it off. It's not going to go forever. But we're expecting some of that today, and she may then say, okay, we're going to do victim statements and statements during block from A to B, and then the sentencing will be on this date, and that's what we're hoping, because I'd love to have a sentence date on the books for him. TW says, your voice appeals to a specific group of people who are grounded in logic and common sense. Thank you, TW. You're amazing. I appreciate you being here. You've got some insightful and very witty comments. Let's see. Mary says she's got to vote for the video. She says, I don't like podcasts. I like to see video and pictures of the topics. I'm the same way. I don't know how the podcast would work, and I don't know how I could do both. It would have to be one or the other. And I'm not giving up on video. I've got too much vested in that. But Anthony gives an update here. Recovery Addict. It says, DePape is the guy who attacked Paul Pelosi with a hammer. Okay, so this is like fresh ink. Okay, this is brand new. There's going to be a lot happening here. I don't want to jump too far into this without some information. And a lot of what's out there online right now is speculation, because it is a political figure, and there's a partisan battle that seems to happen everywhere the internet exists. Anytime anything partisan is brought up, I want to find the facts. I want to find just the details of what happened without all that partisanship and the jokes and the memes and everything. And right now it's hard to dig through. So as we get some more information and move forward with that, I'll look into that, and it might be something we bring up. But at the same time, I'm trying to keep this channel sort of not political. We're all entitled to our political opinions, and you're welcome to share them. But I don't want this to be a political battle channel. I think we're better than that. MM Jones says, Recovery Addict, have you thought about a Discord? I'm on a few of those and get notified 30 minutes before live. I've done Discord as a participant before. It seems a little complicated for me, honestly. The managing all the chat rooms and the rules and everything. I would need some help on that. but I'm not opposed to the idea. It's a lot right now. Even right now, just getting set up for this and finding the pictures I want to show and researching the stories and answering the questions that I got asked in the last live stream that I said I'd do homework on. It's a lot for me to do, and I don't want to try to take on so much that I fail at what the core is of what I offer. But I want to find a solution that really does notify you and lets you be a part. BB says there are a lot of YouTubers that convert their videos to podcasts. I believe it. I'm just not sure if this would be a really good fit. And honestly, it's more that would my time spent doing that be better spent just making what I'm providing here better? So I'm not sure there. Sandy Fields says, just trying to learn how this all works. You and me both. I jumped in the deep end for sure, and that's it. Matthew Harris says, CNN and Fox News have plenty of speculation in the news cycle. I love that we focus on facts here. Matthew, you are correct. This is a unique. I think we're unique. I think we're different than most other channels out there. There are a couple of people I do like, and I draw a lot of inspiration from several people out there. But I think what we have here, especially with the community, is different than anywhere else. And says, I've had enough political talk. Need a break from politics. Yes, please. AIA says, great show. Are you a recovering addict? Yes, but not in the way you think. I was addicted to video games, but I'm glad that's in the past. I spent way too much of my life playing games. But I chose the name Recovery Addict actually because I'm addicted to recovering artifacts from the ground. I'm a metal detectorist. I'm one of those guys with the headphones like these, and I go out with a coil, and swing the metal detector and dig little holes and find old artifacts. That's where the name came from. I chose the name and basically picked up that name across every social media platform I could in various forms. Before I even thought twice about the implications for like AA or anything else that I would be associating with. I have had some suggestions for changing it and making some small changes that might be a little more fitting while still keeping the addict type idea. So if I can make that work, I might rebrand just a little bit to be more clear, because I don't want to make people think I'm something I'm not, and I'm not an addict in recovery as far as a drug or alcohol addiction or something like that goes. Much respect for those who are, but I don't want to represent that I am that. So that's where that is. Does that answer your question, AI? Let's see. Alexa says, I've learned so much passively watching legal cases. I'm an accountant, not a lawyer, but knowing the law and challenging your beliefs never hurts. 100% I agree. The fact that we can have a conversation, like a legitimate conversation, a deep conversation with somebody who has deeply held opposing viewpoints to our own, and be respectful in the process. I think everybody learns. It might not change our minds. I might not, be switch to your way of thinking, or you might not switch to mine. But the discussion is what makes us better people. And if we could do more of that in politics, I know we don't want to talk about politics, but if there could be more of that, it would be better. The more participation, the better the process is. Church says, AB says, Churchy, I didn't know they were definitely scheduling for that, though I thought the bulk of the focus was victim impact. Right, I think that's the main purpose of what we're going to be doing with Judge Darrell today, but we might have some information about scheduling the sentencing. Huggy says, I just say all is getting life, so there's no point. What if I'm wrong? So we need it? I probably read that wrong. Write it again to me as you would explain it to a child, and then I'll catch it. So thank you. Shane says it will be carried on Law and Crime channel. Law and Crime is pretty good about carrying just a clean feed of everything. So if you don't like the dialogue, our discussion, me talking over things, if that's not what you are looking for, I would suggest like the Law and Crime channel. I'd suggest Court TV, or maybe even straight from one of the news sources. I think Fox 6 is going to have, I think that's up in Milwaukee. They'll obviously have the feed live. So if you just want just courtroom, but then the chat you have up there, you're going to miss out on what we have here. So it's a trade-off there. Maybe you can watch them and chat with us. Let's see. Cake Spoo says, what's the most interesting thing you found, Recovery Addict? The most interesting item I found, my favorite was an an 1834 $5 gold coin that I actually found. If you look on my channel, there's a video of that. And it was a return. When we go metal detecting, when we find something where we know it's been lost, like somebody loses a ring, we call that a return. So we find it and we turn it to the owner. This was a coin that was lost 75 years ago, and they knew where they had lost it. The family member is still alive, and so it was an amazing experience. If you want to watch that video, I didn't do a good job recording it just because I was so excited about the experience. I'm never going to find another gold coin again, but it was crazy. What is my background? My background is just about everything. I started working in a greenhouse when I was 16 years old. I've worked at McDonald's. I've done fast food. I've done. I've worked in metal shops. I've been sales managers. I've worked in contract positions for the government, in security and IT. I've worked in the news media. I've got a very diverse background. I like learning about a lot of things. And one of the things I really like learning about is the law. I like studying the law. I like to read all the proposed bills that are going up to be discussed at the state level where I live. I'm one of those guys who watches the videos and goes live to city council meetings because I find it interesting. But that's my background. If does that answer it? Alexa says, absolutely. I purposely challenge my own beliefs, morals and beliefs. If nothing else, it's an exercise in empathy. The ability to look at something from another person's viewpoint is lost for a lot of people. And we would be a better society if we could all just try that. J Kid has another vote for the killer clown. Bizarre. I'm not one of those. I don't like clowns, but I don't dislike clowns. But this one might make me dislike clowns. But we'll look into that. Lisa says, if Brooks acts up, the judge will cut him off. Yes, and they might just. Depending on his level of acting up. I don't think he's going to try to throw things. I don't think we're going to get to that. Although we almost got to that previously. He did threaten to break things when he was thrown out of the courtroom. Let's see. Interesting insights on trial law. Yes, that's what we come here for. Joshua says, recovery addict, hope you had a good weekend. You mentioned gaming and being addicted to it. What video games did you play and what caused you to realize it was a problem? Joshua, I played World of Warcraft. There was a time when I had the game running in my car next to me on a laptop, where I had purchased a wireless internet connection device so that even when I'm driving somewhere, I wouldn't be away from the game. And it was somewhere around that point that I realized that my life was out of balance. That game had a feature where you were in chat, you could type / and then type played, and it would give you a total hours that you've been playing that game. And mine was measured in months. And that's nonstop total hours that I put into the game. I wasted that part of my life. I enjoyed it. I still like games. I still like playing games, but for me, I realized that was something I didn't want to be. I had things to accomplish that were beyond the virtual world. So I'm in a much better place there. So hopefully that answers your question. TW streams of Daryl Brooks are available on Milwaukee television stations WTAMGA, Fox 6, WISN, and CBS 58. TW, thank you. Those are going to be, they'll probably, all 4 of them are going to carry the live feed. Sorry, I had you guys looking at the back of my head again. But yeah, that's, I'll be bringing some of those feeds to you. Probably Fox 6 is what I want to try to use. They have a really clean image. But we'll try to use that this afternoon as we follow the events with Judge Darrell this afternoon. Debbie says, well, maybe Brooks build another fort. I'd love it. That would be great. But I don't think he needs all that evidence anymore. That's back in his jail cell, and he'll be reading through that, looking for lost opportunities for months, if not years. Mac says, how can you lose something if you knew where you lost it? Mac, it goes like this. If you're at the beach and you're playing, you're throwing Frisbee, and you throw a ball and the ring on your finger slides off, you know the general area, but when it lands in the sand, because it's heavier than the sand, it disappears. And sand covers it. You can't see where it went. And it's very hard to find an item like a ring just with your hands in a general area, because as you dig, it actually shifts and sinks lower and lower. So In the case of the gold coin that I found, it was a young child had stolen the coin out of his mom's jewelry box and had it in his pocket, was doing some cartwheels in the front yard, and it fell out. And they didn't know where in the yard it fell out, but they looked and looked and were never able to find it. That was 75 years previously. I heard the story after I was doing some other detecting on that family's property, and said, well, if you still have access to the property, the coin's not going anywhere, And it took about half an hour to find it. And as soon as my coil went over that coin, all I can tell you is the sound the detector makes, depending on the type of metal, it's different. And as soon as I heard it, it rang like a bell. It was like the heavenly choirs had just sung in my ears type thing. And I knew, and I told them, I said, this is it. The coin's right here. And I was able to actually have one of their relatives, a young kid who was just super interested in metal detecting, actually discover. I dug the grass out of the ground, and I let him actually find the coin with a little pinpointer, and he was just over the moon. It was wonderful. Anyway, if you want to watch that video, it's on my channel. It's not the best video, but it'll tell the story there. Julia, I hope so. I hope that we get a sentencing date, or at least get an idea of when we'll know what the sentencing date is. So sorry, I'm a law student from Russia and not quite into American law. Julia, likewise, I don't know much about Russian law. To me, I'm very confused by some of how it goes. So I can imagine your confusion about our law as well. Basically, today, Daryl Brooks has already been found guilty. The jury found him guilty on all 76 charges. So what happens next is the people who are impacted by that crime, both the people on the side of the victims and the people on the side of the Daryl Brooks, have an opportunity to share an impact statement. Tell the judge, by him going to jail, this will change his family's life, or this will change here, or this is what he's going to be able to do, or this is they just anything they want to tell the judge that she gets to consider before making the sentence. So we'll have a lot of victim statements because there were a lot of victims. But when that's all done, then the judge will do the sentencing, and it probably will happen pretty quickly. Daryl wants to delay the sentencing because he has lots of things to put in order, but really it's just clear out all his stuff from the jail cell and put him in prison. Emma says, I'd love to see him in a gag. He will be in a gag, I think, if he refuses to be respectful during the victim statements. But yeah. Matthew Harris says, I get the same stats for time spent watching YouTube as you spent playing WoW. LOL. Yeah, it's an addiction, right? We're all here for the long haul. J-Kid, I didn't. Is there something we should go back and cover on that one, or anything you have a question of? Might be able to give a synopsis, but I'm not well-versed in it right now. Sandy Field says, Recovery Addict, where is the cup available? It's on eBay. I don't know how else to do it. You guys asked me if I had merch, and so I made a cup that references the DB trial a little bit. On one side it says objection, overruled, grounds on the bottom. And then on the other side it says true crime addict on it. It's just it's a little two-tone coffee mug. I think it's available in 5 colors, but it's out there on eBay. If you search eBay for Recovery Addict mug, I think you'll find it. Hugie says, why do you have a lot of equipment? I'd just like to know. This is a question my wife's asked me several times. Why do I have all this equipment? For all the equipment I have here, I have even more cables. I have probably hundreds of cables and adapters, and so I've got like 4 screens going right here. I went to school for this. I got my degree in communications, electronic media, and I've always been interested in it. And I've always just acquired a piece here and a piece there. As people know that I have skills in a certain area, they'll say, "Hey, can you help me with this project?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can do that, but I'll need wireless mics." And so I'll pick up some wireless mics, and I just sort of built it up over the years, and it has sort of turned into its own addiction. But now I have enough pieces that I can basically put together almost anything. I mean, I've been able to, on short notice, run a graduation live stream for a college, or I can do almost anything on a small scale with up to a few cameras just with the equipment I own, and so it's been awesome. But it's an addiction. I buy technology. Okay, the Chandler Halderson case from Wisconsin, I'll have to look into that. When we do the drawing for the rings, Debbie, I need you to reach out to me. I didn't see you on here earlier. I need you to reach out to me, and we'll talk. Have some water, recovery addict? I have some. I needed to drink. My mouth's dry. There we go. Thank you for the reminder. Randy says, "What is a gag?" Randy, the judge, Judge Darrow in the DB case, she referenced Wisconsin versus Allen, which was a case that she was citing as case law for justifying her ability to require DB, Darrell Brooks, to be in the other room and to be muted or to be, to participate without causing interruption. And one of the things that case law basically says she has the right to do is to gag the defendant if he's, if they're outburst type thing. She didn't use that yet, but she legally can have him gagged if he won't be quiet. So it's basically think of like tying a handkerchief over somebody's mouth or sticking a sock in their mouth and tying it in place. That's basically what it is. I don't know. I will tell you this. If she does have him gagged, whatever website sells that gag is going to sell 1 billion of them in like 24 hours. That's for sure. Leon King says, Russian law, guilty until innocent, or was. Police could chide inmates. Leon, we've got, I forget who it was from Russia. I'd love to hear a little bit about it. It does seem different for me. I mean, the basis of how the courtroom operates is very different. Eileen says, I have subscribed. I love this channel. Eileen, I love that you're here. I'm glad that you found me. This is a great community. I think you'll love being a part of it. Okay, so Ola says, what? I thought a gag was an order not to talk, not an actual gag. Okay, so that is a gag order. A gag order is where the judge will say, I'm ordering this to be sealed, basically. You're not allowed to talk about it. It can't be talked about outside of the courtroom. So that's a gag order. But the gag itself, that's a physical item. It's like a leather strap tied around the back of the head, like think of like a tennis ball in the mouth type thing. That's a gag. Don't Google it. Whatever you do, please don't Google it. It will take you to a place on the internet you do not want to be. Lisa says, I'm addicted to YouTube. Also, my boyfriend gets upset with me. It's all right. Tell him to watch along with you, and maybe that'll be better. Will he be allowed to opt out of the victim statement? Karen, I don't think he will. I think the judge will require him to be present, maybe in the other courtroom or gagged during the victim statement. But I think it's important for the victims to be able to say that. This is their chance to say something to him and to the court. So, it's possible. I'd have to look in the Wisconsin rules, but it's possible he has an option to not be there. But that would just be sinking to a new level of low for him. Trish says, a ring my mom gave me was lost in the river, and 2 weeks later my brother found it in the sand. That the likelihood of that happening is so low. That is amazing. That's wonderful. Let's see. Did I answer all the questions? I'm falling way behind. I'm not sure what that was. Something was funny. Amanda, I forget what it was. You guys are making suggestions as far as what the gag should be. I imagine a few of you would be even willing to apply it. Debbie has a cat problem. If somebody can help her out. Is it your cat or somebody else's, Debbie? J-Kid says, Chandler Holler's case was pretty bizarre. A young man who killed his parents, dismembered them, and tried to cremate them in the family fireplace. I'm guessing the family fireplace doesn't produce the heat necessary to produce the results he wanted. Wow. Yeah, that's bizarre. Okay, so it looks like some of you went on Google and searched, didn't you? Somebody said, "What is a gag?" and you went and searched, and now you can't unsee that. I was hoping that the first time you saw it would be in the courtroom at Judge Darrell's request as the bailiff applied the gag, but now you know. So that's what it is. Have you considered challenging the bar? Are you asking me if I should take the bar exam? I'm not there. I really am not. I have so much respect for lawyers who understand the minute details that are involved in law and and just the whole process and understanding the terminology. There's so much. It's got its own language. It really does. And we just scratched the surface here with what applies to us, so we can understand the process. But I don't think I'm cut out to be a lawyer. Don't think the judge will need duct tape for Brooks. You can just have him shocked. Pauline, yes, he does have those shock shackles on, but I don't think they will use those unless he is a physical threat to himself or someone else. I'm pretty sure that he would almost have like lawsuit grounds if they shocked him just for talking when he wasn't supposed to. That would be bad. I'm looking for them to engage the anklet tasers on his shackles. Laura, we have news coming up shortly. I'm trying to make a video. Debbie says it's her cat. Wonderful. You guys are hilarious. Okay, look, it's 11 o'clock my time. We're probably going to be live again about 1 or probably at least half an hour before that. I've got some work to try to make a scheduled live like Matthew Harris suggested. I want to try to get that set up. I'd really like to figure out this whole notification thing so you guys can join me right at the beginning, because if nothing else, we have cool music, and I'd like you to be here for that. But we want to have everybody together so we can discuss it. I've got some work lined up to make sure that the feeds we have are right and the audio's set up right. There you are. You're looking at my back again. Sorry about that. I forget to look over at my screen and see what you see. So sorry. Cena says, I'm dying to know if Richard Allen will be eligible for bail and when that will be decided. I'm prepared to bet that he has a chance at bail. I don't know. I think they'll set that bail pretty high. If they have been looking for him for 5 years, he's not cooperating now with them, and they just arrested him. I think he's going to be like, I don't know, $5 million bail, $2 million bail, and required to put up 20% of that cash himself or something. I don't think he'll be getting out. I think he'll be held. And are they required to give him bail in Indiana? Is that a requirement? I'm not sure. Lisa says, I love your philosophy on how people should relate with respect to one another regardless of views. You're a gem, and I wish there were more people like you in the world. Genuine, compassionate, true. Lisa, you are wonderful. Thanks for the kind words, and I'm so glad you're here. We do have something special here in this community, and you guys are just amazing. I'm glad I can be a part of it. Abby says, hee. That wasn't what I was going to click on, but that's what I got. I was trying to say right here, Karen says, undergrad social work here. Plan was law school. Social work exam was so stressful that I couldn't take the LSAT. So social work it was. Karen, hopefully you like the social work. Sometimes some of these tests, I had to take tests for some of the IT work I did in security. And some of those tests are ridiculous. I mean, we literally get a week off of just cramming and studying for this test to try to pass it. And the fail rate was like 60%, which I don't know how that compares with the LSAT. But yeah, some of those tests are just ridiculous. It's like some of these things I'm never going to need to know, too. I mean, these questions, they make it hard on purpose. But he asked for them to be removed during the verdict. Leon, you're talking about DB, about the shackles. Yeah, he's like, well, since the jury's already decided, can I get rid of the shackles? It's like, why would we? Now, of all times, we know you're guilty, so why are we going to unlock you now? So you can get a chance at running for the door or something? A couple of you are wishing for those shock shackles to get at least a little test zap. But yes, a gag is legal. Debbie says, how do I get in touch with you? Debbie, the best way is to be on, if you go to one of my other social media channels, either on Twitter, on Facebook, TikTok, something like that, and follow me there and send me a just message. Say, hey, I want to message you. I'll follow you back, and then you'll be able to direct message me, and that's the best way. Let's see. Churchy says almost 3,000 subs. Are you guys serious? That is unbelievable. Holy cow! Thank you. You guys are amazing. Ashley just gave an update on Richard Allen. That answers the question previously. They said on the press conference Richard Allen is being held with no bail, so there's no chance he's getting out. They don't want to give him a chance to escape. They took him 5 years to catch him already. I wonder where he'll be sent, since he won't be in court anymore. I wonder if it has to be in Wisconsin. Talking about DB, I don't know which prison he'll go to, but I believe he'll be in jail, in the county jail, until sentencing. Now, sometimes if the county jail is full, they'll have like a pretrial holding or a in progress holding section in the prison. But I don't think that's his case. I think he's in county lockup. Ann says, catch you after lunch. Everyone hitting the candy bowl before Brooks' clown show. Yeah, bring some candy for sure to share for everybody. Abby says, can you post the phone number again? Yeah, let me post the phone number. That's a great way to get a hold of me as well. Abby, you got it right there. This phone number will go straight to my voicemail. I'll screen the call and I can respond. You can also send text messages to that number. So there's a great way to get a hold of me as well. So I'll leave that up just for a minute as I read a couple other chats. Randy says, thanks for your channel. This is a nice place to be. No mean people here. We try to keep it that way. We have a diverse group of people here in this community with just some amazing backgrounds and experience. So it's great. Laura says she's a retired social worker. Very rewarding work. Love the channel. That's wonderful. Making a difference in people's lives is very rewarding. Donna says she volunteers as tribute. Let's see here. Donna, guess what? Congratulations. You're a new bailiff in our court of public opinion. I appreciate you being here and helping try to make this a great place for everybody. Let's see. If anybody wants out, by the way, if anybody wants out as being a mod, let me know. I don't want you to think that you have to be here and work. If it's burdensome for you, we can rotate. We can take turns. A lot of people, are qualified to be a mod here in this channel. We sort of think alike. We've got a common mental process here. So if you're able to use that in handling all the chats and discussions, that would be great. Okay. Shane says, why need for shock shackles? They're basically for the protection of people around him. We already know he's capable of killing people. And he's got quite a lengthy rap sheet. So the opportunity that he might have to act out one more time to get back at somebody, it's a risk. If he has, a computer he's able to rip off the desk and chuck it at somebody, you can really hurt somebody. You could really injure them. So they have an ability basically it's like having a taser pre-applied, right? And they just have to hit the button. But Anthony says it's Richard Allen's turn to go down the hill. Hope they throw the book at him. Yeah, it will be fascinating. Hopefully they have solid evidence with the crime that took place 5 years ago. Evidence disappears over time. And when you don't know who you're looking at, it's hard to gather all the evidence about that person. So all the alibis of where were you on that date, how do you look back 5 years and say, oh, I was with this person. I've got an alibi. It's rough. And there are challenges with these almost like cold case scenarios that have development. So hopefully it's really strong evidence that links him together to that crime. Let's see. Chandra says, when does the Brooks conference come on? I've heard it's 1 o'clock. We'll be on a little bit early. I think we'll be on maybe 45 minutes early, but I've got to get off because, quite frankly, I need to make a sandwich. I haven't had my sandwich yet today, and I need to make that, have lunch, get ready, get everything set for the video we're going to have and the commentary we'll have here. Let's see. Mr. Rogers says he has anger issues. He needs to be in shock shackles. I think he has personality issues, like mental, on a mental level. Not that he's insane, but he has something diagnosable. Let's put it that way. T says, oh no, I thought I was already subscribed. Just sub now. Well, T, I'm glad you keep coming back even without the subscription. Obviously, I appreciate it, but thank you so much. Donna says DB's also shackled to the table. Yes, that's why the judge would not let the prosecution approach the witnesses, because she didn't want it to look wrong where they could walk around and he could not. She made it so that the jury had no idea he was shackled unless he told them. And at one point he said he was going to send him or tell him that. Miss L says, good morning. Hit that thumbs up button for support of Recovery Addicts. Like and subscribe. I appreciate that. You guys are amazing. You obviously don't have to do that. Just you being here and participating is enough for me. I'm super happy. But if you do that, that's going above and beyond. So thank you very much. Tom says, make some food. It's lunch already, right? Likes are free of charge. I think what we'll do is we'll do a poll, right? We'll have a big poll about whether somebody's guilty or not. And if you think you're guilty, then you just like the feed. And if you think they're not guilty, then you dislike the feed twice. Would that work? Debbie's putting the order for all of you guys. So apparently you're going to have turkey, ham, and cheese like I am, with pickles, as always, because pickles make the world go round. So sandwiches for everybody. And then trick-or-treat candy after that. Shane says, I found him on Twitter, emailed him from there. Yep, you can reach me. I'm not the most responsive person. That's why I'm not a lawyer, right? Sometimes I get carried up in what I'm doing and the work that I'm currently involved with, and I don't respond very quickly, but I will try. I try to respond, or at least read and like every single comment on every single video I make. And sometimes that's a lot of work. I stay up way too late doing that sometimes, which is why some of you will see I'm replying at 2 a.m. in the morning. It's like I feel like that you guys have given me so much in just being here and participating and subscribing and liking the views and everything. You've given me so much I want to give back, and I feel bad just letting your comments sit there. So hopefully I can keep doing that. TW says, I can be a mod if you need another. TW, you're next on deck if we need that. I think we'll have you go up next. Ed says, are you surprised Brooks got first degree on all counts as opposed to second degree on the first few since he honked his horn? Ed, that was basically the closest thing he had to a defense that he presented, was the horn honking. But I don't think he was able to articulate in a convincing way that horn honking was anything other than frustration. And at the same time, by honking his horn, he's sort of admitting by doing that he knew there was someone in his way, and that actually goes to intent, and so then he basically knew someone was there, and drove anyway, and that, so it sort of backfires as well. So I don't think he gained anything by honking his horn, other than maybe convincing them even at the first one was intentional. So then maybe that's why they went with the first degree. Let's see. Chicken salad, butter beans, collard, and Mountain Dew. Okay, Leon, you had me up until the butter beans and the collard. I've had both. I'm actually in a town that has a collards festival, where we have parades about collards. And I'm not a big fan. I've eaten them, but I'm not a big fan. Maybe somebody needs to tell me how they cook them a little bit differently, and I'll try it again. But Ola says he honked but did not stop honking, proved he knew the danger. Right, so that just goes to the intent there. And he sped up also. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so look, guys, I appreciate you being here, but it's lunchtime. I need you guys to make a sandwich, grab yourself a drink. I'm gonna go to work here during the break and get the feeds lined up, get the audio lined up, so we can follow all the events as they happen. There's a lot to talk about. Hopefully there's a lot that goes on today, and maybe the judge moves right into parts of it. I mean, we might have more information coming out today than we thought. So that's where we're going to end it here on this one. Let's see, what song do we end it on today? It's something cheerful. Should we do this one? Yep, that's it. That's what it's going to be. Donna says, never had a collard. No regrets. Egg sandwich today? That's not bad. Grilled chicken? Not bad. Wonderful. Abby, glad you could be here. Shane, the Delphi, the husband, I believe, pled guilty on that one. So there was no trial as far as that went. Ola, thanks. Wonderful. I will catch you guys on the next one. I'm going to try to get a notification out to you so you guys can see when it's coming and be on here early. Obviously, the first person on wins the internet, so hopefully that can be you. Debbie, I look forward to hearing from you. When you reach out to me, I'll be back in touch shortly. But until then, we'll see you guys on the next stream.